Was hit with the China virus. Senator Loeffler helped rescue the U.S. economy by voting to pass a historic $3 trillion
Trump is live, you guys.
bill, relief for American workers and families, and a lot of people were against it, and it turned out to be a great thing, Kelly. Thank you.
Let's see what he's talking about.
A lot of people said, oh, it's...
Oh, wait. He left. Oh, no.
Bill, relief for American workers and families, and a lot of people were against it, and it turned out to be a great thing, Kelly. Thank you. A lot of people said, oh, it's too much. I said, it's
what to do, how y'all feeling?
not their fault, and I want to get them more money now, and I like the higher number rather than the lower number. We'll make it back. With her help, we secured $15 billion for 175,000 Georgia small businesses and saved 1.5 million Georgia jobs. That was both of them, really, both of them. Kelly is a relentless advocate for Georgia farmers, and she has fought tirelessly to get them relief in this pandemic. And by the way, her husband is a fine man who's one of the most respected men in the country. I want to tell you that. I want to tell you that. He's a great man. He's a great gentleman. At the urging of, if you're successful today, it's supposed to be a bad thing. No, I think it means you're smart sometimes, right? He's a smart guy, but he's a great guy. He's a great man. At the urging of Kelly and David, my administration took historic action to protect growers of Georgia blueberries, peppers, squash, and cucumbers. Who does cucumbers around here? Because I like cucumbers. I'm the only one. I like cucumbers. When our law enforcement heroes were under attack, Senator Loeffler stood up to the Marxists and introduced legislation to protect our brave men and women in blue, and she was threatened all over the place. That threat meant nothing. That was a wasted number of phone calls, or however the hell they threatened you. That was a waste of time. She also introduced legislation to prevent Democrat gun grabbers like Beto O'Rourke. Remember Beto? Beto. There's a guy, has another one. He wants to take your guns away. Oh, by the way, Trump is going to lose Texas, but Beto O'Rourke, who's a big factor in that whole thing, wants to take. Remember when Beto was running, he was riding high, and then Ted Cruz, who's done a great job, beat Beto O'Rourke. But Beto was riding high for a while. And remember he was on the cover of a certain really bad magazine. I won't mention the name. It's failing. It won't be in business for another 6 months, I don't think. I hope. But he was on the cover, and he said, I was born to do this. And I said, anybody that says they were born to do this, they're going to be losing very quickly. And you know what? Within about 2 months,
Trump said that a couple times.
Loser. And just weeks ago, Senator Loeffler cast her vote to confirm our newest Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett. They both did, by the way. They both did. I can't leave David out of that one. Kelly's opponent, Raphael Warnock, is a dangerous extremist who is radically opposed to your values. He said he believes that, quote, nobody can serve God and the military. Oh, really? An appalling statement that dishonors the memory and generations of American heroes who fought for God and for our country. Raphael Warnock has openly declared his support for socialism, and he has even praised Marxists all over the world. He once hosted the barbaric communist dictator Fidel Castro. He likes Castro. He was a good man. He was a good guy, he said. He falsely slandered patriotic Americans as racists. He called police officers gangsters, thugs, and bullies. He supports abolishing cash bail. Look at what happened to New York with their cash bail. No cash bail, no bail, don't worry about it. You killed somebody, don't worry about it, You're on the honor code. And he's declared, quote, open up the jails, free the violent criminals, and prey on Georgia, families, children. No, you can't do that. This is not for Georgia, I'm telling you. It might be for some places, and I tell you that too. This is not for Georgia. I think Raphael has to move to another state. Try it again. Warnock is strongly anti-Israel. And Warnock's own writings make clear that he believes America is a sinister nation that must be punished. Don't just take my word for it. We did something, I shouldn't be doing this for them. It costs too much money, but we'll do it anyway. We have a little video to play, please.
Senator Sanders, Senator Warren, and myself are all on the same team. What are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that overfunded police departments are defunded? There is no middle road on the climate crisis.
I not only support a Green New Deal, I don't think it goes far enough. I'm all for a Green New Deal. This is part of what gun registration is about. We want to track where the guns are. We need to cut the defense budget.
Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Oh, Popeye!
Are you in favor of expanding the court or perhaps an age limit in place instead of a lifetime appointment?
Trying
Look,
hard.
I've said everything is on the table.
But if we win the majority, everything is on the table.
Now we take Georgia, then we change America. Change is coming to America.
The blue wave is comprised of those who are documented and undocumented.
We win these races in Georgia so that we don't have to negotiate.
That's their goal. Total radical control to bring horrific
Oh,
change
we
to
can't see
America.
the video, Trump.
Only
I wanna see the
Georgians
video.
can stop them.
Nobody can serve God and the military.
Raphael Warnock attacks our military.
Police power, the kind of gangster and thug mentality.
Warnock attacks our police.
Somebody's got to open up the jails.
Raphael Warnock is dangerous. No wonder he defended this.
Not God bless America, God America.
Now, my hope is that in early January, Democrats will pick up 2 more seats in the Georgia runoffs, and that will make our life
Why we
a
can't see
lot
the
easier.
video?
We need to send a message this year. We need to send a message that if you indulge this kind of politics, you're not just going to get beaten. You're going to get beaten so bad you can never run or show your face again in public. Because we have had enough, absolutely enough, of what we are getting from Donald Trump and his fellow travelers right now.
The way Trump is watching this video, y'all. We don't care.
You're not just gonna get beaten. You're gonna get beaten so bad you can never run or show your face again in public.
Oh.
So we had, I just looked at that one scene because it was in Washington, and we had about a month ago incredible crowds of people. They were angry as hell at the election, and they showed up, and it was incredible. Hundreds of thousands of people. People couldn't believe. Now, of course, some of the fake news said hundreds of people are here. No. Tens of thousands of people. And you know, Antifa showed up. Not the right, but the left showed up. And they looked at some of these people and they wanted to attack the crowd. They looked and they said, no, thank you. And they left. No problem. They looked at some of these people. They said, no, thank you.
I swear, he just be
Then it
talking.
broke up about 3 o'clock. Everyone went home very peacefully. It was a beautiful day, actually. They all went home peacefully. And that night they came back. And there were a few families that stayed around with young children. And there were some elderly people that were having dinner in Washington, very elderly people. And they got attacked. Those people got attacked viciously by the scum from Antifa. We can't let this happen. We can't let this happen. But what they didn't play, what the fake news didn't play, is during the day they walked in and they wanted to do some damage and they took a look and they said, no thank you, we won't do it. We'll wait. We'll wait till we get the people with the children. We'll wait till we get the elderly people that want to stay in Washington and really just have a good time.
What is he talking about?
And it was disgusting to watch. On January 5th, you must defeat Ossoff and Warnock and send 2 great people, David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, back to the Senate.
Back to the
And if
Senate.
you don't mind, I'd like
Oh, goodness. I would like for y'all to vote for
to
me.
ask David and Kelly to come up and say a few words, please.
No. This is hilarious. Oh, I got the hiccups. This is Trump's crowd, you guys. Trump's crowd is trying to empower, motivate Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. They know they're losing. They're going to lose Georgia's runoff. He's trying to, I guess, pump life back into him with this Trump rally. Excuse my hiccups. goodness. Fist bump. Hey, didn't
Thank you, Georgia.
they criticize Obama for the
Thank
fist
you,
bump?
Mr. President. President Trump, you made America great again because you put America first. Thank you.
Pan over to her. I want to see her face.
President Trump created the strongest economy because he put the American worker first. He stood up. That's right.
This is funny.
Right. He stood up to the cancel culture, China, big tech, the fake news. We are standing strong for President Trump because he's fought for us every single day. Every day. Georgia, we need you to vote January 5th. If you're our voice on January 5th, we'll be your voice for years. We have to make sure that we keep America strong.
Sidney Powell said no, don't do it.
Thank you. Well, you know what? My colleague, David Perdue, my good friend, wants to make sure that you vote. We are going to vote because if we don't vote, we will lose the country. If we vote, we will win.
Hey, guys, I want to take liberty just 1 second. I want to say something personal to President Trump. Hey, guys, I want to say something for President Trump personally. Guys, I want to say something personal for President Trump.
Say the shit. You gonna say it
God
3
bless
times?
you. We love you, Mr. President. We love the First Lady. And we're going to fight and win those 2 seats and make sure you get a fair, square deal in the state of Georgia. God bless you, Mr. President.
It ain't happening. He lost Georgia already. Twice. Lord have mercy. The second time he lost by more.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, sir.
Fight for Trump? Is that what they're saying? Look at him. He's loving it. Loving it. Oh, my energy's back. Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're fighting. We're going to fight like you never saw before.
That nigga been locked up in a bunker for weeks.
We can't
now he
let
gotta come out.
what happened 3 weeks ago, we can't let it happen. It's beyond me. We can't let it happen. And somewhere there's going to be a champion, your champion. Somewhere there's going to be a champion that's going to do what's right. Because this has been going on for a long time. But never like it's happened recently. And you know, they've used the pandemic and the phony fake ballots, the mail-in ballots, they use that to sabotage a country. We're not going to let it happen. As you know, a major issue in this state is voter fraud. It's been a big issue for a long time, but never like this.
I guess not. I don't know.
We sent out tens of thousands, millions and millions of ballots. Nobody knew where they came from, where they are. People were getting 2, 3, 4 ballots. They were signing them, sending them in. What a mess. And I said it a year ago, and I said it every month. And I even said, let's postpone the election. And they said, oh, he's not an American. You know, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. We're all deeply disturbed and upset by the lying, cheating, robbing, stealing that's gone on with our elections. We know the Democrats will have dead people voting, and you got to watch it. Dead people. You wouldn't believe how many illegal aliens from out of the state, and they'll be filing out and filling out ballots for people who don't even exist. They put up names. They have people signing their own name over and over. They have people signing names with the same pen, with the same signature. They don't even change because they know once they get it in, it'll never be looked at. It'll never be looked at again because of people like your Secretary of State and your governor. So we want signature verification, but the answer, and we're going to be very careful. We're going to watch every ballot, David and Kelly. We can't let this happen again. And again, we have more light shining here because of what happened and because of the fact it's pinpointed. The answer to the Democrat fraud is not to stay at home. That's what Nancy Pelosi and Schumer, that's what they want you to do. Stay at home. Just stay at home.
Yeah, better stay your eyes down.
If you want to do something to them, I don't want to use the word revenge, but it is a certain revenge. To the Democrats, you show up and vote in record numbers. That's what you have to do. They can only win if they cheat. They can't win this state unless they cheat. And they cheat better than anybody. You know, when you think of it, the Republicans are much nicer. They're not nearly as vicious. Maybe a few of us. Republicans are too nice.
Y'all the niggas that be threatening lives.
That's a very good. Thank you very much. I like that. But they are. They're too nice. They don't go after these criminals. They got to go after them. We're talking to people. Go after them. They don't go after them.
After them how?
They're afraid they'll hurt their reputation when they get out. I don't know. They don't go after them.
Go after them
but we're
how?
watching this so closely. We have everybody watching. You got to get out and vote. Let them steal Georgia again. You'll never be able to look yourself in the mirror. We have to hold the line. And you have two of the greatest people on earth. We have to hold the line. Make sure that you and everyone else know that you have to register to vote before this Monday, December 7th. Is that right? Monday, December 7th. You have to register to vote.
You don't even know when.
Of course, you'll probably be allowed to if you're a Democrat. You know, they don't have any time limits. Did you see where Stacey is allowed to harvest, but other people can't harvest? How is that constitutional? She just got
800,000 people ready to come out.
How is that constitution? Has anybody looked at that? Go to Georgia.gov and register immediately.
People ready to vote.
Request your absentee ballot before December 31st.
And he's scared.
Don't delay. Watch it closely. Do it today. Do it tomorrow. And return your ballot the same day you get it. So they can't say, gee, it didn't come in on time. You know what they did in one of the states? Ballots were coming in late. Very, very late. So they backdated the ballots. We have all the information. We have so much evidence.
You ain't got no evidence.
And then you go to a court. Oh, they don't have enough evidence. We have hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of affidavits. And they say, he doesn't have the evidence. We have so much evidence. We don't know what to do with
affidavits
it.
aren't evidence.
We put all of this into a filing.
It's
It's like with wheelbarrows. If you aren't planning to vote by mail, vote early in person or vote on election day, whatever you do, I need each of you, every one of you, your friends, your family to go and vote. And after we win, we need to pass landmark election reform, including voter ID. Is that so bad?
Voter ID.
Residency verification. Like, we live in the country, we live in the state. Citizenship confirmation. They want to say, oh, he doesn't have to be a citizen. You got to see what's voting. They're not citizens. You're a citizen? No, I'm not a citizen. You speak English? No English. Speak no English.
Stop
you're
it.
Voting. Yeah. Why not? This is the craziest thing. You know, the Democrat National Committee had their convention, and they had a picture. You couldn't get in unless you had a picture. You had a photo ID. But when it comes to the most important thing, voting, they don't want to do it. And they know. They know exactly. We just can't let that happen. I've only been doing this for a short time. Believe me, this is something we're going to do because we can't allow it to happen. And complete overhaul of our election security systems, because right now, Dominion is a joke, okay? Not a very funny joke. It's a disgrace that in 2020, no state in America even makes any real attempt to verify that those who cast ballots by mail are eligible and lawfully registered voters. The evidence of fraud is overwhelming, and again, I'm going to ask you to look up at that very, very powerful and very expensive screen. I do this for a few people. Let's go.
Oh, goodness. Back to the monitor.
We certainly want transparency.
Roll that
what
clip.
he saw is what we revealed to you last night on this program, what appears to be Atlanta, Georgia ballot counters being told to leave the counting room, then a short time later, with no observers.
Georgia is suppressing votes, you guys. So for the runoff, what they tried to do, what they tried to sneak in was, all right, well, if you're going to register to vote, you have to register a car. You have to have your a car in your name in order to be able to vote in this runoff. They know who they trying to target. Excuse my hiccups. They know who they trying to target by saying you have to have a registered car. You have to have a car in your name. You know, there's a lot of people in the minority community that catches the bus, use public transportation. Hell, some just don't want a car, but they're eligible to vote. So right now, at the last second, Georgia officials are trying to sneak that in. That's called Voter suppression.
They are long gone. And the Trump team has sworn witness testimony, claiming an announcement was most certainly made. In fact, even CNN reported the counting was being shut down due to a water main break that even election administrators now acknowledge was a leaky toilet. So someone had to tell those people to leave. And if you look at this table, there are ballots in boxes open and ready for counting. Now watch as they get packed up. Why would you need to secure them and then ultimately take out the mysterious ballots from under the table to start counting? It just doesn't add up. Elections Board member Dr. Kathleen Ruth shows her skepticism in that Zoom call this morning with the elections chief.
It is interesting that these ballots were under a table versus being in the open.
Ashnielz Radio. We're going to try to bring this.
Well, I think there's
a lot off.
I don't know that I think those ballot boxes get heavy. I don't think they want to be lifting those things up and putting them back down.
It makes no sense. The guy's scratching his head. He just looks nervous. The guy does not inspire confidence.
Do you hear what's going on?
There were already ballots out. But even almost
on.
24 hours since I posted what could be, quote, smoking gun video of election fraud. A video now with 2.5 million views as of right now on my Twitter feed. The head of elections, whose ballot counters are now being accused of ballot stuffing, declares this.
I'll have to review. I need to review the video. I have not seen the video.
Please do. Please do is right. He hasn't watched the video that could upend the presidential election, and the guy in charge of the very people in the room admits he didn't watch the video before updating board members this morning. That's insanity. And yet, Fulton County still certified the election. But you know who did watch our video? Our viewers, Stinchfield's Army. One directed me to this moment in the video. The woman in purple, after putting ballots in to be scanned, it appears to take the same batch of ballots out, straighten them, and then
News Now, you guys.
She reinserts them back into the ballot counting machine again. The same set of ballots. Now, there may or may not be an explanation for this, but it certainly needs to be investigated by law enforcement.
You decide.
As the greatest political heist in election history may have just been caught on camera.
Evidence of election fraud mounts as the mainstream media and Democrats loudly insist Joe Biden is still the 2020 winner. However, numerous whistleblowers are coming forward with credible information that hundreds of thousands of votes for President Trump mysteriously disappeared on election night. On Tuesday, Jesse Morgan, a worker for the U.S. Postal Service, revealed that his trailer full of ballots simply went missing after he dropped them off. The worker drove his truck from Bethpage, New York, all the way to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and says he was carrying some 288,000 completed mail-in ballots.
What happened?
Phil Klein, the director of the legal group Thomas More Society Amistad Project, says they have many more testimonies from whistleblowers with similar stories. The project is working to discover flaws and even expose cases of voting fraud in the 2020 election, and has already uncovered serious examples of voting irregularities. Backing up President Trump's warnings, Klein explains that the post office was rife with fraud and that many Postal Service workers were taking part in widespread illegal efforts to undermine the election. While the missing truck full of ballots is bad enough, other whistleblowers say they drove thousands of pre-filled ballots right over state lines, which is a federal crime. A subcontractor for the post office, Nathan Pease, said that he was told by two separate postal workers that the post office in Wisconsin had collected and backdated over 100,000 ballots on the morning after the election. Unsurprisingly, others also claimed the integrity of Dominion voting machines has been compromised and cannot be trusted. During a press conference in Arlington, Virginia on Tuesday, the project explained that election officials in blue jurisdictions have failed to maintain the ballot chain of custody, which leaves the door wide open for voting fraud. The project said it has photographic evidence of people improperly accessing voting machines and eyewitness accounts on how the seals on ballot hard drives were illegally tampered with and broken. Klein says that in total, there are over 300,000 fraudulent ballots in Arizona, 548,000 in Michigan, 204,000 in Georgia, and 121,000 in Pennsylvania. Based on this evidence, the FBI has reportedly requested to look at the project's data on voting integrity and potential election fraud.
It's called you. Hey, won by a lot. Remember, remember the fake polls where they said he's down by 4 in Florida and won by a lot. He's down by 2 in Ohio and we won. I think we got 8 or 9 or something up. No, but nobody's ever done that. Those 2 very powerful, big, important states. And the beauty is that we also won Georgia, and that was good. And we won South Carolina, and we won Iowa. Remember? We're not going to win in Iowa, they said. We're not going to win. I think the farmers like Trump a lot, right? Well, we won in Iowa by a lot. We won in Iowa by close to record numbers. I think I have the record. And we won all over the place. And many of these swing states, it's a very interesting statistic. President Obama beat Biden all over the country.
Please
except in some of the swing states where Biden beat him badly. How does that work? And they say it's statistically impossible. He beat crooked Hillary. Think of this. He beat crooked Hillary in the swing states, but she beat him everywhere else. Let me tell you, this election was rigged, and we can't let it happen to 2 of the greatest, most respected people in Washington. We can't let it happen again.
Stop this.
Can't let it happen.
They are
Can't
so
let it
funny,
happen.
Guys.
Your governor could stop it very easily if he knew what the hell he was doing. He could stop it very easily. Hundreds of thousands of illegal votes were cast in each state. Far from, you look at this, hundreds of thousands more than we needed were cast in every state we're talking about, not only here, but Michigan, Pennsylvania.
This is supposed
How about
to be
Pennsylvania where they throw the poll watchers out? They threw them out. They literally threw them out. And they did it here too, by the way. But we caught them cold and have numerous cases pending, and so far we haven't been able to find the people with the courage to do the right thing, and that is true in Georgia certainly, but we're going to hit those people, and they're going to go down in history as great people. They're going to go down because everyone knows what took place. But we're going to talk about the presidential election a little bit later because we have a big senatorial race going on in Georgia, and we are watching Democrats very, very closely. And remember this, we had this massive race all over the country, so they could cheat in Georgia, and people aren't really watching it like they should. And, again, all I can do is say, I'm running, win, and then do a good job as president. That's all. I don't run the elections. I don't run to see if people are walking in with suitcases and putting them under a table with a black robe around it. I don't do that. That's up to your government here. And for whatever reason, your Secretary of State and your governor are afraid of Stacey Abrams. They're afraid of her.
Hey, Stacey. Shout out to Stacey Abrams, y'all. Shout out.
So we know the Democrats are planning to cheat, and we can't let them do it again. And we're going to pull ours out one way or the other. But we have to be vigilant because I don't want these 2 to work like I thought we were going to easily win. And that maybe for the first time in a long time, I'd go take a nice little vacation for about 2 days,
I thought you would.
and then we go back. And instead, I probably worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I've ever worked in my life doing this.
It didn't matter.
And I've become friendly with legislators that I didn't know 4 weeks ago, and actually they're great people. In fact, in my pocket right here, we have a couple of them right in here.
Oh, shit.
Where's Bert Jones? Where's Bert Jones?
Oh,
Bert.
shit. Where's the list?
Bert, well, you're a young guy. I thought you were young, but not that young. Bert Jones, I want to thank you, Bert, for being
you
here.
don't know?
You're friendly with the man next to you, right, huh? He's a man of courage. Thank you very much, Bert. I appreciate everything you're doing, and so does this big crowd. And this is a lot of people. Also, Brandon Beach, Senator Brandon Beach. Brandon, thank you for everything. We appreciate it. William Liggins. William, where's William? Why are you so far away, William, from them? Oh, I like that group better, actually. I agree. And Greg Dozel. Where's Greg? Greg, thank you very much, Greg. We appreciate it. Really do. We appreciate it. Great people.
Trump.
And we said, have this brought back into your legislature, Governor. Have it brought back. Let these people make it. Keep it open, keep it transparent, and let us have a signature verification. What's wrong with that? They keep counting the same votes. I said, don't count votes. Look at the signature. You're going to find the signatures aren't what they were 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. But our two great Senate opponents, and these are two people that fight, and they're going to fight like, I don't know if you know this, but one of the people that you're fighting, I went against him, Ossoff, 4 years ago. He was against a very fine woman, Karen, who was a great woman, and he was leading by quite a bit, and we ended up beating him. He didn't even live in the district. He was running for Congress. He didn't even live in the district. So we're going to have the same thing. But Ossoff and Warnock will be total pawns of Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. I only see him cry when the cameras are on. But he did say this. Maybe I'm hurting you when I say, he did say this. If we get in, we're going to absolutely make Donald Trump's life miserable. Can you believe that? That's Chuck Schumer. He made the statement. We're going to investigate him. Oh,
he's scared. He already trying to pardon his family. He's scared.
Well, they've been investigating me since the day we came down on the escalator, which what turned out to be our great first lady. We came down the escalator, right? And they spied on our campaign and lots of other things. But Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Bernie Sanders.
Shout out to AOC. Shout out to Bernie Sanders.
And the lunatic radical left. That's what you're going to have, as Chuck Schumer said rather infamously, first we take Georgia, then we take America. But they don't mean take America like in a good sense. They mean bring it over to things that the people of Georgia don't want. You're not going to like it when they want to take over your farm. Gee, we own this farm too. You know, we were here also. We own this farm. Here's exactly how they will change America forever. The radical Democrats, if they get power, they will immediately abolish the Senate filibuster, allowing them to pass any bill they want and giving them free rein to ram through the most extreme left-wing agenda ever conceived, while at the same time destroying our military through a lack of funding. And by the way, tell our senators,
you just took funding for the wall,
Section 230. End Section 230. Put it in. We put it in. I want it in the defense bill. Put it in. Because it's a national security problem. It's a big national security, so hopefully Mitch and the senators will put it in. But it's the one chance we have to bring big tech, who are vicious and violent and untruthful, to bring big tech. It's the only thing they fear is that we're going to end Section 230. So hopefully we will do it. It happens to be a politically very popular thing to do, by the way. If these people get control, their draconian military cuts will devastate Fort Benning, Fort Gordon, and the military families all across Georgia. We would also like to save the names of the forts, if you don't mind, everybody. They have the right, you know, they put in the Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren clause, where they have the right to take all the names of our past warriors, heroes in some cases, many cases. Some turned out to be heroes in disguise, perhaps. But they want to take the names off, and they have the right to desecrate, to take down, to destroy, to demolish places in our national parks that we don't want demolished. So we have to be very careful of that. We can't let that happen. They want to put it in our military bill, of all people. Elizabeth.
This guy here, man. I'm telling you guys, something's wrong with your boy Trump.
Warren puts that clause in the military bill. They will impose total open borders so that people can pour into our country, and they will give them free health care, free welfare, and the right to vote in your elections. You won't ever win another election as a Republican. They even want to take down the wall. You know, the wall. I won on the wall, too. We won on a lot of things. Take down the wall. I heard him say it the other day. We will take down the wall. You know, we have the strongest border we've ever had now. We're almost finished with the wall. Strongest border, right, Sonny? And we built it despite, it's incredible the effect it's having. We built it despite rather, everybody said no chance.
And it fell
we
down.
had a whole very powerful Democrat
Part of the wall
party
fell down. He ain't gonna
opposed me. And yesterday, I don't know
the
if you saw
people that funded the wall, they want their
court
money back.
just ruled that the money I took was taken illegally, so at least we have a legal wall. The appeals court. So we took in and we built the wall, and we'll be finished with it very soon.
Took money from the
It's had a
military,
tremendous impact
executive
on
order,
illegal immigrants
national
coming into
security.
the country. And by the way, we want people to come into our country. You see that by the vote I got. But we want people to come in legally
And he had
and
a whole
through
bunch of
merit.
donors.
Through merit, where they can help us. The radical Democrats will implement nationwide catch and release. You know what that is? You catch a killer, you catch a rapist, and you say, oh, thank you very much. Please give us your name. Oh, come back in 3 years. We're going to put you on trial. Oh,
Catch
good.
a Hispanic.
You never see them, by the way. Remember, I had that debate with Joe Biden. He said, no, they come back. Yeah, they don't come back. They don't come back. No, they don't come back. Like never. Maybe 1%, but I doubt it. That's the end of them. You let them loose in our country. I got rid of it. You think that was easy? And install sanctuary cities all across the country. That's what they want. Freeing criminal aliens and MS-13 gang members, the most vicious people. They don't like guns because it's not painful enough. They like using knives. It's true. They don't like guns. They'd rather cut somebody up. To wreak havoc and terror upon innocent families. We've moved thousands and thousands of MS-13 the hell out of our country. We moved
Trump
them back
supporters
to
are terrorists. We don't want to tell you that. They will come to your house.
And some we put in prison because they're too dangerous to
try
move
some
back,
crazy
because they'll
shit.
try and figure a way. You know, they're not stupid. They're vicious, but they're not stupid. Sort of like the Democrats, if you think about it. They'll confiscate privately owned firearms and share. What they will do, they will share everything with themselves, only dangerous equipment, and they will totally cut up a thing called your Second Amendment rights. They'll make Washington, D.C. a state, and many other places, guaranteeing 2, 4, or 6 additional left-wing senators. You know, they want to make numerous places states. This way you'll have a lot more, Louis, you can have a lot more company in Congress. You'll have another 30,
I heard
40
that California wants to
people
split up
from places you've never even heard of.
into 2 to 3
You've
states.
never even heard of. Louis Gohmert, the great Louis Gohmert. And they'll be voting against Georgia every time, completely canceling out your voice in Washington forever. Like David Perdue, I'll never forget it. You got hit by a piece of a hurricane. Remember that? The farmers got hit so hard. And I went with Sonny and with David and some other great people from Georgia. And I said, is there a way we can pay these people? They never asked for anything, and their orchards were wiped out. One of the men said this was going to be the best crop I ever had. I was a week and a half away from finally, after 10, 12 years, making some money. And a week and a half early, he gets hit by the remnants of that big hurricane from Florida. Great state, great place, but you got hit. And David, we took 100% care of those people, right? We took 100% care.
They said they didn't want the money.
With the help of Sonny
They wanted
Perdue,
to be able to trade.
Secretary of Agriculture.
The terrorists.
And I felt so good.
The
But I met
tariffs
those,
hurt
I met them.
them.
There were 33 of them standing, and they were all in a line. What do you do? I have this. What? It was a tragic. And nobody wanted anything. They didn't even want it.
They didn't want to be
They
bailed
said
out.
we could borrow it if we could. They
The
didn't
terrorists
want it.
fucked
These
them
are
up.
incredible
They
people.
said
They
it.
don't want anything. They just want a level.
We just want to be
playing
able to
field, but we
trade.
took care of them. They never forgot it either. It's very interesting. I still hear from some of those people. The extreme left will pack the Supreme Court with 24 radical justices. That's the last number I heard. I used to hear it was 16. Now it's up to 24. Pretty soon you'll have another Congress. 24 radical justices instead of 9 justices that we have right now. And they want them to revolve up and down the court system so that Supreme Court justices can spend time in other locations, down the totem pole. They want to hurt the Supreme Court, and they want to hurt it very badly. And if these two don't get in, or
You guys are packing the Supreme
if
Court.
I don't get in and these don't, we got to get, the best would be all 3.
Putting all conservatives in.
Nothing will happen.
and hope that they can push their narrative. That's the only
But they
reason why
want to
they're packing
destroy the
Supreme Court.
sanctity of the Supreme Court, the importance of the Supreme Court, the majesty of the Supreme Court. They'll terminate religious liberty, cancel free speech, and force you to fund extreme late-term abortion. And there will be nothing to stop them. If they don't get in, there's going to be nothing to stop them.
Thank y'all
You have no idea how bad it will be. There will be nothing.
Trump's
I
rally.
used to argue with certain people about the filibuster.
still
I
trying.
said, look, I don't like it either, but I do it because I know they're going to do it. Everybody said, oh, they'll never do it. They're doing it. They've already announced they're going to do it. That means they can do anything they want. And you know, the Republicans, they play a different game. I don't know, maybe they love the country more. But they said, no, they'll never do it. And I
That's
said,
why they're
with
trying to
Schumer,
steal the election.
he'll do it the first day
'Cause they
he
love
gets
the
in,
country
he'll do it. And that's exactly what's happening, and he'll do it, and he will do that to the Supreme Court, there's no question, but they look forward to it. Because you know why? We put on think of this, 3 great justices, and we'll be over 300 federal judges in the United States, which will be a record. 300.
See?
300.
You packing the
And
Supreme
they don't
Court
want to
and the
wait.
federal
They want to
court.
do it very quickly. Let's just vote, and we'll take it. You know, this takes
Sounds
years
like
and
he's packing
years
the
and
courts.
years to slowly change the court. And perhaps I got a little bit lucky to get 3. A lot of presidents have had none. They've never had. They stay on for a long time. They're young when they go on, and they're old when they come off. But the fact is, a lot of presidents, good presidents, great presidents, they say you can't be a great president unless you put in Supreme Court justices. They say it's the single most important thing a president can do. And I'm not sure that's right. I think military defense, military offense, frankly, is the most important thing. But
That's
it's
what I've been calling it,
certainly
military
one of the
offense,
most
'cause
important things
we
you
ain't
can
been
do.
on defense in a long time.
And the fact that I have I will have by the end, more than 300 first term, think of it. And if we do a second term, which I hope we do, we could have close to 540.
You lost.
But the fact that I
already.
had 3 Supreme Court justices in the first term is not making them feel too good. They will unilaterally surrender to China. They're already doing it. And, you know, Hunter made a lot of money in China. What's he going to do? Sending our factories and our jobs overseas. They will raise your taxes. We lowered your taxes. We gave you the greatest tax cut in the history of our country. And they want to get rid of that and raise your taxes and raise your regulations. We cut more regulations than any president in the history of our country. That's one of the reasons our business came back. You know, with the pandemic, as bad as it is, it's horrible. Should have never happened. China allowed this to happen. Should have never happened. But you know, we went down less. A lot of people don't like to talk our economy. We went down less, and we went up more than any other country in the world. We went down less because we had a good foundation.
What are you talking about?
And yesterday again, so now I thought it was 48. It's actually 128 times. Can you believe it? We set a new stock market record. But this one was great because the Dow Jones Industrial Average think of this, over 30,000 for the first time ever over the last couple of weeks. And yesterday,
I don't think
it was
people give a fuck.
30,200. Can you believe this? And this is
He
during
keeps
hopefully
talking
what
about
will
the
be,
stock
we're rounding
market
the
like
turn,
normal
we're
people
rounding the
care.
corner in the pandemic. But this is during a pandemic. We broke 30,000, a number that was unthinkable when I first came. When I first came in at around 16,000, the concept.
This is pathetic. He really act like we care about the stock market.
Of hitting a 30,000 down.
Nobody cares about the stock market.
Was not even possible. And we not only hit it, can you imagine if we didn't get.
This is News Now stream.
Get hit by this freak, this total freak that came into our country. Can you imagine if we didn't get hit? But you know, in a way, and I thought of this before,
Poor News Now.
David, in a way we did this sort of twice. We took it from the time I came in to the time we got hit, and nobody's blaming us for that. Every country, 188.
Oh, Trump.
got hit. Some were totally devastated. I don't know if they ever recover. But if
I don't know about y'all, Link.
If you think about it, we had two. We did it the first time. We went up from where I took it over, way up, then it went down. Then we had a second. So we really had two.
Way up.
And now we're going to get money because we want the money. First of all, these states and cities should open up. They should open up. And we're working hard against the Democrats, but we're working hard to get some money out to the people because they need it. It's not their fault that they got hit with something from China. And you notice the way the Democrats like to say, it came from Italy. No, it came from China. And that's okay to say it. They like to say it came from Europe. No, actually, well, specifically, it came from Italy. Italy's saying, what did we do? They'll wage war on American energy, absolutely decimating Georgia's middle class.
Who said that it came from Italy? I don't know nobody that said it came from Italy.
Not a huge energy producer, but Texas. Remember they said, Trump will lose Texas by a lot. I said, wait a minute. I'm in favor of energy. I'm the one that built. We have the greatest energy we've ever had. And it all happened this period of time. So you're telling me that I'm going to lose Texas to a guy that
this is pathetic, and they stream is just even more pathetic.
It's against fracking, against energy, against religion, and against guns.
It's okay.
You tell me that, I end up winning Texas by so much. Somebody said, we don't even know how much. And we knew that before, but it's fake news. They said Wisconsin.
That is Donald Trump.
A poll came out, Washington Post, ABC, just before the election. I'm going to lose Wisconsin by 17 points. I said, no, I'm going to win Wisconsin. Well, actually,
yeah, he's a sore loser.
I won Wisconsin. They're trying to say he's a little down, but I actually won. But that's called suppression. That's called a suppression poll. That's a poll that's so devastating. When I asked one of the pollsters, I said, why did they go so far? Why don't they just say 4 or 5? Because in 4 years, they're going to lose all respect. They don't care. They'll do anything to win. They'll do anything to beat you. They don't care. These people are sick. 17 points, and we actually won. Remember, so many of the states, I won every one of them.
That's Trump, you guys.
Every one of the
same old tired Donald Trump. He won't give up. He will not give up. He's going to continue to try to steal this election. He doesn't believe that he lost. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to hear what nobody has to say about it. He's about to keep continuing going. He might not try to leave. He might not leave the White House. Yeah. Imagine if he sat there like, nah, what? It was fraud. I'm not going nowhere. Look again. That would be the funniest shit. The funniest shit. I hope he do sit there and act like he know what he talking about, man. Because Biden already said he willing to use the military. It's okay. He's not scared. But he's using the last of his energy to bring out support for these two Georgia senators. And I don't think it's going to work. Sorry. I don't think that they have the idea of the power Stacey Abrams brings. Stacey Abrams is bringing some heat. She got people that were actually suppressed, real life people that were victims of suppression. She got them eligible to vote. The old folks that couldn't make it to the voting booth, she made sure that there was transportation for them. She got over 800,000 people ready to go to the polls. And he's scared. He's scared for these Georgia senators. And rightfully so. They're going to lose. But this is Ashnielz Radio, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, please. We're going to bring you some more politics in the near future. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with me. I'm out. Peace.